perfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 1017 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
The truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. Happy Tuesday, Milwaukee. Thank you so much for tapping in with us. We are live and direct at the American Family Insurance Studio in the beautiful heart of downtown Milwaukee. This is the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I am your host, Jazz Tyler. I hope that you all had an amazing weekend. First and foremost, please forgive me. I am under the weather, have been for a few days now, but I'm here. And as long as I'm here, we're going to make the best of the best. But I did want to be upfront regarding that. As we lead this hour, before we get into the news, I like to set the scene. Those who are listening, first and foremost, please make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 101.7 The Truth. Follow us on social media at 101.7 as well as Tap In MKE. You can also follow my personal page, The Jazzy Effect with an E, and start reaching out. Let's do some interactions. I love all of the listeners. I got a lot of love for y'all, and I appreciate you all. As we set the scene, I would like to lead with my daily affirmation. Growth comes from being open to new information. We don't have to react to everything. We can pause, learn, and respond with wisdom. Today, I choose wisdom over reaction. I refuse to let circumstances determine my peace or my perspective. I will seek truth. Hint, 101.7 The Truth. Before assumptions, understanding, before judgment, and clarity before I respond. I affirm that my voice has power and I will use it with intention. I understand that challenges are not here to break me. They are opportunities to strengthen my character, deepen my faith, and sharpen my purpose. So today, Truth Nation, I release the need to have all the answers. I embrace discernment. I embrace accountability. I embrace grace. No matter what folds around me, I choose to remain grounded. I will not be distracted by noise or discouraged by obstacles. Instead, I will focus on what I cannot control. What I can control, which is my attitude, my actions, and the way I treat others. I vow to listen to my peers, my family, my friends, you all with an open heart, speak with kindness and move with confidence. And I trust that every experience carries a lesson. Every challenge has a purpose, and every new day is another opportunity to grow. So today I choose peace over worry, purpose over fear, and hope over doubt. I am focused, I am resilient, and I am grateful. And I pray that you all receive that. And if it resonates, adapt that into your life as well. There's a lot of moving pieces when it comes to being an individual, especially if you are a man or a woman who is of color, right? And the reason being is because we wear many hats. Outside of a radio personality, I am a mother. I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am a friend. I am a coworker. I am a mentor. I am many things, and I wear many hats. And sometimes what happens is when you're caught in so many different arenas and you're caught in so many different roles as it pertains to how with the roles that you play in other people's lives, a lot of times is reaction. It is reactionary. A lot of it is acting and being impulsive, right? One of my new sayings is, your emergency is not my emergency, right? I am no longer willing to take on your mental health issues and try and assist you with navigating through them, because whatever put you in that situation was not my fault. What I can do is offer advice and support to help you navigate how to maneuver through it. But I can no longer carry the burden of whatever it is that you're dealing with, because it's not fair to myself, right? And it does not mean that you are being selfish in a sense of abandoning someone. It just means that, again, you are choosing wisdom over reaction. I am no longer reacting, not just to things sent to destroy my peace, but just with love too, right? Sometimes we go above and beyond for the people that we love without utilizing the wisdom we have. And the best thing you can give to someone is no financial gain. The best thing you can give to someone is something that will last forever, which is knowledge and wisdom. And again, today, that is my personal affirmation. It has nothing to do with anything specifically, but these are just the things that I do. And again, I take full responsibility as a radio personality. So a lot of times when you hear the normal FM radio shows or things of that nature, everything is transactional. Everything is based or geared around the world and being in the world. And although we touch on those topics, we have to remain humane. And while you guys, again, I'm grateful that you tune in to me. But while I have this platform, I will utilize the spirit that God has given me in my platform to impact, to embrace, to inspire, and to be transparent with you all, because life is real life, right? And the difficult part about that is when you are part of media, some people become a part of the agenda. And what's going to separate you from every other listener is what you listen to, your doorways, the things that you choose to embrace, the things that you choose to accept. And as you're listening to Truth Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., specifically for the Tapped In show, I want to make sure that whatever comes out of my mouth is something that is powerful, something that is inspiring. And I pray that you all can take the experience I have gone through as a woman, as a Black woman in this country, and utilize it wherever, you see fit. So again, thank you so much for tapping into tapping in with us today. Man, let's dive in this, because I got some things to say. First and foremost, we're going to cover the Wisconsin tornado recovery. I know you guys have seen what happened this weekend. It's nothing that we haven't seen before, but if you are someone who is similar to me, then you will understand what I mean when I say the energy was so different during this. From the skies, the way that they looked, everything, it was just completely different. We'll also tap into new develops as it pertains to the Nolan Wells investigation. We're going to talk about Mandela Barr's campaign finance complaint, right? As well as tonight's Wisconsin governor's debate. At 5 p.m., we have my good friend, my sister, Dr. Jemina Liverman, who works out of and is based out of Virginia. We'll be speaking with her as well. And then up next Thursday, we have Miss Erica Crawley. She is the wife and spouse of David Crawley. We're going to sit down and have some conversations with her. But first, let's hop into these tornadoes, man. I don't know if you guys have been watching throughout the on social media or the news, but Appleton, Menasha, Nina, all of these places were affected by this tornado. And the videos, the pictures that I have seen, my thoughts and prayers are with those specific cities. I can't imagine what it's like to actually have to sit inside of something like that, meaning the tornado, and actually deal with it. In Appleton, they were experiencing extensive damage to homes, businesses, trees, and power lines. In Menasha, one of the hardest hit cities, with flipped over vehicles, destroyed buildings, widespread power outages, and several structural damage. And in Nina, they sustained tornado damage as the storm moved through the area. Fox Crossing, damage to homes. Oshkosh was affected, as well as other cities. More than 30,000 people lost power. More than 30,000 people had damages to their homes, businesses, trees, vehicles, power lines, etc. It was just a hot mess. On top of the tornadoes, we experienced a power outage, but not just any power outage. I was affected. I'm talking 5:30 in the morning to 7:30 at night, right? And if you are someone who is like me, baby, that's the wrong time to do something on a Sunday because I got to cook. Okay? I mean on a Monday, right? I have to prepare. I have to cook for my family. I have to take care of business. I have to do so on and so on. So much. There's so much to do. So that power outage really affected me and my family, right? You got to take stuff out of the refrigerator and cook it all. You have to transport it to, someone else's refrigerator if you aren't able to cook it all. There are elders who are on oxygen tanks. There are elders who don't have central air, or people in general, right? There's so much that goes into not having power. And when I woke up at 5:30, I woke up because I heard it go off. I promise you, I kid you not. It was like, I'm like, what's going on? I'm black. So the first thing I did was went to We Energy's account. I know I done paid my bills. Okay? I'm on auto pay, baby. Like, what is going on? I know they didn't cut my stuff off. And I look on there and yes, everything is taken care of. So now I begin to say, hey, to myself, there has to be an outage. I automatically look out the window and see that the street lights are off. Not blinking, they're completely off. Okay, cool. They've been working on this specific street, on my street, for quite some time. We've been having issues with piping, with water, all types of stuff. So the first thing you do is what every citizen in Milwaukee does is blame it on the city of Milwaukee. City of Milwaukee, what did you guys do when you was down there in that ground? You didn't hit the main grid. You didn't, whatever it was that you were doing, right? This is what I'm saying to myself. So I wake up, I say, okay, you know what? Should be a couple of hours. This just happened about a month ago. It'll probably take 2 hours. To say, hey, 5:30 in the morning, estimated restoration time is 8:30. Cool. I can still make it to working time. Still need to do what I need to do. 8:30 comes. Hey, this has been moved to 11:30. 11:30 comes. Hey, this has been moved to 1 p.m. 1 p.m. come. Hey, restoration has been updated to 3 p.m. 3 p.m. come. Hey, it felt like a guy who was cheating or just playing in my face. You keep saying you're going to come at this time, We Energies, and you ended up coming at a different time, and you just kept breadcrumbing me and the rest of the 20,000 citizens who were out of power, right? I felt like I was being played, like you was playing in my face. It was not a good feeling, right? We're going to tap into more of the power outage, as well as the Wisconsin's governor race. We'll talk a little bit about Mandela Barnes' campaign finance complaint. And we'll get into a conversation with Dr. Jemina Liverman at 5 p.m. This is Jazz Tyler on Tapped In. Do not touch that dial. We got to go to break. 101.7 The Truth.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Ready or not, 101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. Thank you so much for tapping in with us. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at 101.7 The Truth. Follow us on social media at 101.7 The Truth. Tap in MKE, and you can also follow my personal Instagram on The Jazzy Effect, and the effect is with an E. Again, for those who are joining us, I do apologize. I am under the weather. Have been for a couple of days, but I am here. So if you hear a little raspiness in my voice or hear me coughing a little bit, just bear with me. I don't need y'all getting on me on social media. Man, y'all see Jazzy? She got bags on how she listen, it's been a long weekend, okay? And speaking of a long weekend, it took 14 hours for We Energy to power on my electricity yesterday, okay? 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And the crazy thing about it is I know people who live, literally 2 blocks away. And the amount of time it took between their lights being cut on to mine was about 2 hours. And they are just 2 blocks away. Yesterday was a horrible experience. Had I not been in the mental state that I'm in, I think it would have affected me a little bit more. But let me tell you, we have to figure out a better way to deal with circumstances like this. Because again, rest in peace to my grandmother, Myrtle Dugar. I thought of her instantly because she used to be on an oxygen tank, and I couldn't imagine how many elder people were impacted by this. When there's no electricity, there's things that we forget about. Now, one thing about black people and brown people, we know how to survive. So, baby, everybody was outside on their porch at wee hours of the morning. I seen folks grilling, I seen folks cooking up whatever was inside of their refrigerator to ensure that it did not go bad. But again, it was not the best experience, especially when you're being told that it's going to come back on at this time, and then they constantly push back. They pushed it back 5 times and went from 8:30 to 11:30 to 1 to 3:30 to 5, and then it finally came back on at 7:30 p.m. And so many people were affected. Outside of that, there were obviously tornadoes, and you can look up in the sky. I don't know about you guys, but I'm an energy person, and the energy yesterday during that storm was something I haven't felt in Milwaukee. It was so dark that the street lights on Martin Luther King Drive came on at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It was like a huge dark cloud just hovering over the city. And then obviously we had, some rain, some heavy rain as well. But the energy in the city yesterday, as it pertains to that storm and that tornado, it wasn't the best. But what I was happy about was after the rain, the sun would shine. I promise you that sun came out, and it seemed like that didn't exist anymore. But yesterday was a very, very awkward day. So we're talking about the tornado. We're talking about We Energies. We're talking about the Nolan Wells investigation, Mandela bars. We also have my good sis, Dr. Jemina Liverman, who works out of Virginia. She will be joining us at 5 o'clock today. And then on Thursday, we have Erica Crawley, Mrs. Erica Crawley, who is the wife and spouse of County Exec David Crawley. She will be joining us this Thursday as well. So before we hop into what we're going to be discussing with Dr. Liverman, let's touch bases on this Nolan Wells investigation. TMZ has obtained additional records and reports that Nolan Wells was not indeed on that boat when it was being towed back to the shore after experiencing mechanical problems on July 4th. If you are someone who is on social media or keeps up with the news, I'm sure you have seen things such as multiple videos. There's an audio engineer specialist who actually dissected and picked apart the audio so that we can clearly hear what's in the background. And although I try to stay away from speculation, one thing I can say as a lead producer and educator inside of a music studio is that we do have the ability to do things of this nature. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people have been questioning whether or not that audio in fact was real or if it was AI. I can't confirm or deny because I don't know her specifically, but based off experience, it is possible. You are able to take audio and you're able to what they call split it. So you're able to take the audio, split it from the background noise, split it from additional callers, all of the above. And then when you listen to the audio, you can hear people in the background asking if he was dead and so on and so on, allegedly. Also, newly released dispatch audio indicates that the caller told the sea tow that everyone was on the board. Keyword, everyone, including Nolan, at that time. While later reports and witnesses states that Wells remained on that island when that boat departed, which means that if this is true, that is a lie. Authorities continue to investigate the circumstances surrounding Wells' disappearance and death, and the official cause and manner of death has not been determined, and the investigation remains active. Again, recently today, they just stated that that Nolan consumed so much alcohol. Okay, everybody. Come on now. Everybody there was drinking, but not only that, what you're not going to do is try and falsify this and blame it on his consumption, because we all done had one too many, right? Come on now, we're not going to take the easy way out and do that. And I find that very distasteful for whoever is behind releasing that information as it pertains to the way that they're forming it to make it seem as if, nothing happened to Nola. Again, allegedly, these things happen, so we can't state facts. But what I do know, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. As this case unfolds, we will begin to try and report it as much as possible, not just because it's something that everyone should be aware of, but because if you are a parent, right, Nolan is your son too. He is all of our sons, right? It's very imperative that we pay attention to history repeating itself, because this is not the first time. And I say oftentimes, these type of things continues to happen, and we need to stay ahead of the game. As more information continues to surface, investigators are working to establish an accurate timeline of what happened on Horn Island. So these are the questions I pose. Does each new development make the timeline clear or create more questions? How important is it for investigators to release information as it becomes available? And how should the public balance patience with the desire for answers during an active investigation? This also brings up a point in the case of what happened to the gentleman, the brother in Madison, right? And Nolan Wells and his family Nolan Wells' family and his family, Ruiz, has the same attorney, which is Ben Crump. And we are currently watching that story unfold as well. But I think that I disagree with people online stating that we have to be patient and let them do their job and so on and so on. If they are choosing to, so when you go through a grand jury in which Nolan Wells' case apparently will be sat in front of a grand jury, you have to select citizens to be a part of that. Correct? Which means that we have a say-so, which means that we are open and entitled to ask questions. Whether or not you can provide the answers is another thing. But as a citizen who pays taxes, right, whether I live in that state or that city or not, I have the right to ask questions. And what I don't like is when the DA office in that specific city, when the coroner's office in that specific city, when the sheriff's office in that specific city, when the mayor, the governor, all push it to the side and make it seem as if we are wrong for asking questions and let us do our job, where apparently you are not doing your job. Because you haven't even reached out to the family. You don't have anything to say, because if you say something, you're going to say the wrong thing. We all know, and this is my personal opinion, I personally believe that this case is being covered up, right? When you look at the facts and when you look at the stories, the change in the stories, and you take a look at the interviews with the friends and so on and so on, there's too many different stories. The math ain't mathing. So at the end of the day, if you want us to not ask questions, make it make sense, because right now it doesn't make sense. We have a caller on the line. Al, are you there?
Yes, I am. This is what I feel. I feel personally Nolan was probably dating a white girl. A lot of white men doesn't like that because they feel black men have these big old King Kong penises, and they always measuring themselves up to black men. When all you got to do is live their life. And when you look at history, every time they found a black man that was lynched, what was the key thing that was missing besides his eyes and his heart? His penis. So I think what's going on, these white men is getting angry because, white women, are dating black men, and love has no color by no means. But a lot of these white men, instead of focusing on living their life, they're trying to measure somebody. They're trying to measure up to somebody who probably got something the size of King Kong, or they might just be looking at the person's finesse or charisma or their body, and they get mad because they looked in the mirror and found out they was mediocre. And then a lot of them are dribblers and humps like jackrabbits. So that's why I feel they keep doing this to black men. All you got to do is find your lane and make them great. And if they sat down and talk with their kin folks, they will probably find out why so many of their own kind of women don't want to date them, and they can fix the problem. That's simple. Have a great day.
You
Bye-bye.
as well. Thank you so much for tapping in with us, Al. We truly appreciate it. Again, today we are talking about updates on the Nolan Wells case in this hour. We'll also be speaking about the governor's race that's being had tonight, as well as Mandela Barnes, how he faces campaign finance complaints. And then at the 5 o'clock hour, we will be joined by my good sister, Dr. Jemina Liverman out of Virginia, as we get to discussing mental health, right? And this is going to be a little different because typically when we talk about mental health, we talk about the common things, why this, why that, how does this happen? But today I want to speak more so on who we are outside of our roles, right? Imposter syndrome. Who are we when there is nothing for us to do for someone else? So make sure you guys stay tapped in. Follow us on social media. Tap in MKE 101.7 The Truth. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do not touch that dial. We got to go to break. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling. The limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do.
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. American Family Insurance is a proud sponsor of The Truth. For almost 100 years, they've been committed to helping families protect what matters most: your home, your vehicle, and the dreams you are building every single day. If you are a part of the Truth audience, you already know you work hard for yours. That's why having the right protection in place matters. American Family helps you stay ready for whatever life brings so you can focus on moving forward. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. American Family Mutual Insurance, SIN, its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin. Happy Tuesday, Milwaukee. Thank you so much for tapping in. For those who are joining us, please forgive me. I am under the weather. Not a little bit, but a lot of bit. So don't be running around here talking about Jazzy looking bad today, y'all. She tired. I am. My lights was cut off from 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. yesterday. I've been sick since Saturday, amongst a host of other things. So this Tuesday is Tuesday, but guess what? I love y'all enough to show up and show out. Today we are talking about a couple of different things, but what I want to lead into this hour is the governor's race this evening. As you guys have been following the headlines, apparently Mandela Barnes is facing campaign finance complaints, right? A campaign finance complaint has been filed with the Wisconsin Ethics Commission against Democratic candidate Mandela Barnes and the Long Run PAC. Now, the PAC is the Long Run PAC, which is something that Mandela put into play. It's a political action committee that was founded in 2022. The purpose of it was to support working class, young minority, and LGBTQ plus Democratic candidates who break the traditional political mold. Now, what's going on is this complaint alleges that the campaign and PAC violated Wisconsin's campaign finance laws. Among the allegations are that the PAC failed to properly register before engaging in political activity and improperly coordinating spending with the campaign. Barnes' campaign has denied the allegations and says it believes it was compiled with state law. The Wisconsin Ethics Commission will determine whether any action is warranted at this stage. These are allegations contained in a file complaint, not findings or wrongdoings. So what that means is that if indeed this is true, Barnes can face potential legal consequences. If they found that these violations have occurred, possible outcomes could include corrective actions or other remedies under Wisconsin campaign finance law. If the commission dismisses the complaints, the political impact may diminish. At this point, there has not been a public finding that Barnes or the PAC violated the law. And this information was cited from the Milwaukee Journal, Sentinel. Now, We all know politics can get a little messy and a little dirty. Me personally, I don't know this to be true. Again, this is alleged. I do know that multiple sources has picked it up. What I will say is, in situations like this, you have to go off of character. I don't know if he got a reputation good enough based off taxes and other things to where you can say no. That's not true. I don't believe that has happened. Hey, listen, palms up, Shamrock Boys. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I just know that those are serious accusations. And as we continue to watch this unfold, I'm eager to see what other rabbits these candidates plan on pulling out of their hat. We all have also seen the scrutiny as it pertains to County Exec David Crawley and some tweets. But this is my thing. First and foremost, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, 5 months ago, man, leave me alone with the nonsense, okay? People are allowed to grow. People are allowed to change because it is social media again. And if multiple people have access to your account, you don't know if someone posted that or not. But whether it was County Exec David Crawley, whether it was Kong, whoever it was, anything that old, come on, man. Like, to me, all it shows is that that's all you got. All you got is some tweets from 2010, right? Come on, like, we got to do better. So evidently they don't have nothing on him. Otherwise, hey, we wouldn't be talking about some tweets from when Twitter, was it 2010 or 2012? I believe it was when Twitter first was created. Yeah, we got to do better. That does not pertain to what is going on, real questions, real things that we need to be worried about, like public safety, education, housing, healthcare, the economy, et cetera, et cetera. Shout out to the chat line. Chuck L says, Mandela Barnes wants to take all of the problems that they haven't fixed in Milwaukee statewide, not just potholes and raggedy streets in Milwaukee, potholes for everyone everywhere. Hey, I mean, if that's your take on it, cool. Me personally, my question would be, again, these are not biases, but facts. If we're talking specifically about Mandela Barnes, in which we are, what has he done as the lieutenant governor? What has he done as the lieutenant governor to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to support him. I can't tell you. And I'm in politics. I cannot tell you what he has done. I can't tell you what a lot of the people who are running for governor has done. Maybe one or two. I don't know what Mandela specifically has done. So I'm not sure of what he's going to do because he hasn't proved himself enough to me personally. Marquise G says, I've been living in Hampton Heights neighborhood for over 10 years and they just put new transformers in our backyard this year. For that reason alone, my wife and I invested in a generator and we run it whenever our power is out. And that's pertaining to the storms and everything that happened this weekend. And you know what? That is right. There is a survival kits book that my sister sent me off Amazon that I used to have and no longer have. But I think that everyone, according to the way that this weather has gone this past year, we should invest into a generator as well as additional things to make sure we are all well and taken care of when we have these situations. We have a caller on the line. Brother Love, are you there?
Hey, Jess, how you doing? Happy Monday.
Happy Tuesday.
Listen,
my mind is on Monday too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jess. You're right, Jess. I agree with you, and I just want to say you have been very inspirational. You have inspired me. You're the best host from the morning to the night. And, like I said, Jazz, I believe that, I believe that the Crowleys, I believe that his wife, the more she be inspired, the more she do what she's doing and he doing what he's doing, I believe he will be the next governor.
And who was that?
I do. Who?
You said who? What name did you mention?
I believe as long as the women is behind their men in politics, just as long as they're behind them and they doing what they're doing, because I believe that whoever you go for, Jazz, I'm gonna go for. I'm rooting for you.
All right, let's talk about it. Thank you, Brother Love. Thank you so much for tapping in with us today. So tonight there is a debate that is happening. It takes place from 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. at Marquette University. Now, this debate will feature the candidates who are currently running for the governor's seat: Mandela Barnes, Brennan, Crowley, Hong, and Royce. They all will be present. It will be moderated by Jerron Jordan and Matt Smith of WISN 12. The partisans' primary is August 11th, and the Democratic nominee will advance to the November general election. I am eager to see how this debate takes place. What I will say, based off of my personal observations, Hong and Crowley seems to be the most level-headed candidates as it pertains to the debates. I haven't really seen them taking too many cheap shots. They just been running their race, doing their due diligence, and I hope that is something that they'll bring to tonight's debate as well. We all know, again, with the politics and the politricks, it can get very messy. It can get very dirty. But I do want to see a couple jabs thrown. I'm waiting, right? Because if you know, there's some things going around about Mandela Barnes and Francesca Hong. And I won't get into it because I just feel like I don't want to be a part of it. But what I will do is say that I have heard the rumors. I don't know if they're true or not. I hope that they aren't. But if they are, it doesn't necessarily pertain to the work that they do, but it does pertain to their character and what it means when you are representing the people. So again, I'm eager to see tonight what's going to happen at this debate, right? Time is ticking. We have to make sure we get the right person on the ballot as a people. We need to be there. If you are able to join, again, that's tonight at between 7 and 8 p.m. at Marquette University. Mandela Barnes, Brennan, David Crowley, Hong, and Royce will all be participants of this debate. I want to know if they're going to be talking about public safety, education, housing, healthcare, the economy, etc. We got a caller on the line. Wiki Blue, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you so much for tapping in with us.
I was listening to you talking about this governor's race. Do you own any property?
I do not.
Okay, does your parents own any property or grandparents here in the city?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, Governor Evers, this alone should say, hey, I'm casting all parties and all that garbage to the side because I got to protect what could be futurely, that could be mine in the future or what I'm going to pass along in the future. Mm-hmm. It got nothing to do with party right now. I'm not willing to give my property away or watch my mamas or daddies or uncles or aunties lose their property for some party that these people don't even really know me for real. Now, Governor Evers signed a 400-year tax increase, school board tax increase. Okay, 400 years. I'm still trying to find out why would he pick 400 years. The black man was held down and captive here for 400 years. We've been under scrutiny for 400 years. Why would he do 400 years? He could have said 3 years, 300 years, 200 years, 150 years, 500, 1,000 years. He picked 400 years. Now, for 400 years, every year, the school board taxes will increase $9 per thousand. So if your little house is worth $100,000, that's going to be what, $1,800? You know, if it's $200,000, it's going to be what, $1,800 or something like that onto your school, and that's going by the city's assessment. Okay, so if your house is $100,000 assessed, that's $9 per thousand added on to your taxes, not including your city taxes already, your county taxes already, your 911, your other stuff. Don't get no special assessments by the city neighborhood services. It won't take us a good 10 years, a good 5 years for us to lose those properties and give them back. They're going to come in and take them. You're going to lose them because and the school boards is going to increase. We starting at $9 per thousand. Okay? This ain't something I'm making up fictitiously. This is for real. I don't know none of them. But if Tom Tiffany says on day one he's going to do it, and guess what? I believe him because he's going to save his people stuff. Okay? He's going to save his folks. And guess what? Most Negroes better understand something, that grandma's house will not be there. Your kids, when you talking about generational wealth, won't be there. And if you got some commercial or mixed-use property, you won't be able to afford it, man, after a couple of years. Because look at the school board tax hike. And then they're going by the city's assessment. They're not even saying get a real, a real appraisal. This is city assessment junk that they just, I don't know where they get these numbers. They use comps and all kind of stuff, and that's a bad deal. So there's no other way to look at this. Put the party to the side. If this dude say he gonna do it, I need him to do it. Now, if y'all that in love, save your house and then next time vote Democrat if that's what you want to do. But I don't know him. So I'm not in the business of giving my wealth away for some people that I don't even know, and really they don't give a so about us. Tony Evers, 400 years, tax hike. 10 years, 5 years, we done lost our property, Jazz. With that, I'm going to get on out of here. Tom Tiffany for me, baby.
Absolute. Thank you so much, Wiki, for tapping in with us. We got to go to break to pay some bills. When we come back, we will take the next call. We are talking about the governor's debate tonight. And coming up at the 5 o'clock hour, we have my good sis, Dr. Jemina Liverman, who will be joining us virtually from Virginia. Again, we got to go to break to pay some bills. Do not touch that dial. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkuprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way, improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to health care and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
.101.7 The Truth. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler. We are Locked and loaded, officially tapped in. For those who are just joining us again, please forgive me. I have been under the weather. And if you are watching, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 101.7 The Truth. Follow us on social media at Tapped In MKE, Tap In MKE, and 101.7 The Truth. And if you're watching live, do not judge me. It's been a long weekend. We Energies had my lights out from 5:30 to 7:30 yesterday. I'm sick. I'm tired. All right. But I'm here. And while I'm here, we are talking about the governor's race this evening, the debate that they will be having on Marquette campus from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can expect to see Barnes, Brennan, Crawley, Hong, and Roy. They will all be in attendance. I'm eager to see if they're going to bring up the issue. And the issue that we're talking about is Mandela Barnes and the Newsline for finance complaint. They're stating that a campaign finance complaint has been filed with the Wisconsin Ethics Commission against Democratic candidate Mandela Barnes and the Long Run PAC. Now, the Long Run PAC is a political action committee that was founded by our former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes following his 2022 U.S. Senate campaign. The PAC stated the goal is to support working class, young minority, and LGBTQ plus Democratic candidates who break the traditional political mold. It's a lot going on with that. If this indeed is true, there will be some major consequences, I assume. We currently have a caller on the line. Key, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, Jess.
How you doing?
Oh, you know. I was just trying to, give a shameless plug. We have a debate watch party tonight. When I say we, I'm the chair of the Milwaukee County Dems and treasurer of the Black Caucus, and we're doing it at Ray Nitty spot or the community
corridor.
Within the corridor.
Okay.
Yeah. 32nd and Center. So if anybody, free food, people want to be around other people and watch and enjoy, y'all should come out. It's going to open up at 6, so feel free to come through.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And you know what? Thank you for hosting this because it is important. It's not only important because it's a race, but it's also informative. These are the things that we need for those who are not aware. Can you please drop the location and the time again and what's happening?
For sure. This is the Governor's Debate Watch Party. The address is 3212 West Center Street, and that's at the corridor starting at 6. Free food and good vibes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Again, you guys, shout out to my brother Ray Nitty for always showing up when it matters most, and that includes hosting the watch party for the governor's debate tonight. So if you are not able to join physically, which will be on Marquette campus from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., you can go to the Creative Corridor and watch this governor's debate as well. We were tapping into the Mandela Barnes situation, but outside of that, again, I'm interested in seeing if they're going to talk about public safety, education, housing, healthcare, the economy. Brother Winky Blue called in and gave his opinion on who he's voting for and why. And he brought up a valid point as it pertains to the tax increase with the school board and so on and so on. Now, we won't dive too much into that. I will tomorrow because he made some valid points. But again, today I am eager to see if they're going to bring up certain things in this debate. I don't personally want to see a fighting match. I don't want to see a WWE ring in the center of Marquette University where they're taking shots about personal business. I want to see what you're going to do in the event that you do become governor. A lot of times when politics are involved, and a lot of times when elected officials or people who are looking to become elected officials begin to just throw out personal business and so on and so on, it's pretty much to deflate. It's a deflation. It's to get away from the real causes and issues. Is because they don't have any experience, they don't have any knowledge, they don't have any solutions. So they begin to nitpick at the other candidates. And I mentioned earlier that County Exec David Crawley and Hong, in my personal opinion, again, this is my personal opinion, have been the only two who have not taken as many cheap shots against other candidates. They're just here to do what they're supposed to do, which is to provide answers. So again, if you are not able to make it tonight, I do encourage that the people who are listening that you watch. And if you aren't able to, if you don't feel like watching, you can go to the Creative Corridor. My brother Ray Nitty is hosting a debate watch party. But again, and we're not saying that we're voting for a specific person or party. We're simply just informing you that this is taking place. And if you don't think that it affects you, trust me when I tell you it do. Whoever is going to take that seat is going to affect you somehow, some way. Doesn't matter if they're Democratic or Republican, is going to affect you, right? And what I mean by that is I'm not peer pressuring you into voting. I'm simply saying make sure you are aware and prepared. As long as you are prepared and stay ready, you never have to get ready. Right. So it's important that you understand who's running, their background, why they're running, what they plan on doing. And then you coincide that with whatever your beliefs are and how you live your life. And then you figure it out from there. But at the end of the day, I believe it's a must watch. Right. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, too. We're going to talk about it. Some of the things that I am looking for specifically is housing. The inflation, the taxes, all of the above, right? I know y'all tired of to people who are renting, going to visit houses where they're asking for $1,500 or $1,800 for a 2-bedroom and they got a green kitchen and a yellow bathroom, right? Property taxes is through the roof. Doesn't matter where you reside in the city of Milwaukee. There is so much going on. There's not even housing for people. When you drive around the city of Milwaukee, you see it's very diverse. I see so many different ethnicities who have moved to Milwaukee due to the government benefits, due to employment, due to all of the above. So when our mayor stated a few years back that he would like to see 1 million people in Milwaukee, I'm not sure if he was specific when he stated the type of people he would like to see. But what I will tell you is that there has been an increase. And I'm not sure that the people who are coming to the city of Milwaukee are people who are assisting with the economic growth, right? Which is why we're talking about housing and how that plays a role in that as well. When we come back, we will switch the topic. We have my good sister, Dr. Jemina Liverman, joining us virtually from Virginia. We will be talking about mental health. Who are you when nobody needs you? When you don't have to go to work, when you don't have to show up as a mother, as a son, or all of the above. Who are you? Do not touch that dial. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
One on 1.7 The Truth. This your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. Shout out to Truth Nation, everyone in the chat, everyone who is currently listening, whether you are in your car, at work, watching us live from YouTube, or if you are listening via the app. We truly, truly appreciate you. Earlier, we were covering topics pertaining to local news. But again, today I want to dive into the main topic in conversation, which is prioritizing mental health. And we are joined by my good sister, a friend. When I say sister, I don't mean, hey, sis, right? I mean a sis star, SISSTAR. She's a sis star because she shines every room she walks in. She brings positive energy. She is someone that I confide in, someone that I trust with my own personal mental health, and I want to introduce the world to her. So we have Dr. Jemina Liverman, who is certified as a family and psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. She's also the founder of Saving and Changing Lives. She's obtained her Master of Science nursing degree with the concentration in family nurse practitioner in 2016 from South University, and she completed her postmaster certificate as a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner in 2018 from Maryville University. As a teen mom herself and a recovering addict, those factors influence her drive to advocate for mental health, right, in groups that pertain to people like us, to Black people. And she comes from many different walks of life. Again, she is someone who is near and dear to my heart. So Truth Nation, please help me welcome my sister, Dr. J. Dr. Jemina Liverman. Dr. J, how you doing, sis?
You're muted.
We got Dr. J live and direct. Bear with us as we kick off this interview. Hey, sis, there we go.
How you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I just want to piggyback on something because I don't want the folks to get me because you're addressing me as Dr. J.
Mm-hmm.
And so you did my terminal degree, doctorate in nursing practice that I earned in 2021 from Chatham University.
Let's go.
Hence, that's what allowed me to have the initials in the title doctor in front of my name.
Yes, so we're not talking about a Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I'm just saying, we talking about a real doctor, you understand? Somebody that put in the work. Yes, indeed. So we spent the last hour talking about storms, investigation, politics, and everything happening around us. All of those things can affect our mental health, all of the above. But again, today, if you were joined in earlier, I gave you my Truth Nation, I gave you my affirmation for today. And a part of that is the question that I posed to you all. Who are we when no one needs you? Who are you when nobody needs you, right? I don't want to talk about depression or anxiety. I don't want to talk about any of those things. I want to talk about imposter syndrome. I want to talk about the mind frame that you're in when you feel like you don't have anyone to give yourself to. And I want to talk about it with Dr. J because she is someone that I have had personal conversations when it comes to this. So again, the addiction nobody talks about, in my personal opinion, is being needed. I want us to tap in, sis, on what that means to you as it pertains to your journey, how you got to where you are, and why is it important to know who you are so that when you are in solitude or isolation, and there is no one else around that you have yourself to give to, how you can sit with yourself and become whoever it is that you need to become.
So one of the things that was very important for me that I had to learn is that my love language is acts of kindness, giving, and that came from my early childhood. I was the only child for 9 years, and my first sibling was born at the age of 9. And even at the age of 9, I was tasked with cleaning bottles. And so back then in the 80s, glass bottles, I knew how to boil them. I knew how to put water and mix formula, just like, it was my child. So I learned early in life to give, regardless of how tired I have been, and I'm getting ready for elementary school. And that just propelled me throughout life, even as a mother, started having children, myself, we always giving, giving, giving. And then we're taught that. Honestly, we're taught that it is a sinful thing. It is bad to be selfish. You're frowned
Absolutely.
upon when you're selfish. What are we taught? Share, share with others. Give to those who are less fortunate than us.
Absolutely. So let's start from the beginning. One of the reasons why I reached out and wanted you to come on board is because I feel like a lot of times in these spaces, especially when we're dealing with the mental health, a lot of the clinicians are people, specifically in our city and region, are people who have not experienced the things that their clients have. And it's like a one rule book to everything, which we know that that doesn't apply. So can you kind of walk us through your journey, your thought process, and how you ended up to becoming the person that you are today?
My journey was not one of wealth. I became a mother at the age of 13. By the age of 17, I had my second baby. So when I graduated from high school, which is normally unheard of, I had 2 children, but both my children were at the audience carrying me on. By the age of 19, I had a job because I was an addict. By the age of 21, I became clean, so I've been recovering since. Guess I better tell my real age. 54 now. So I just celebrated over 30 years of recovery.
Yes. Congratulations to that. Come on now.
Yes. And my story has always been, and I tell people, I never wanted to be in healthcare.
Mhm.
Even in school, when I took all those career aptitude tests, I always tested very strong in science. But my dream was to go to school and be an attorney. I wanted to be a lawyer.
Mhm.
But that was not the path that chosen for me. Um, and so being in healthcare, once again, taking care of people, being nurturing, and then forwarding over here into mental health, I definitely relate a lot to my patients,
Mhm.
um, coming from very humble beginnings and growing up in poverty, being a teen mom, being a recovering addict. And so I'm able to relate to my patients because I do not come to them from a clinical standpoint.
Yes.
As I tell them, I'm not asking you to do nothing with something that I have not done,
Come
that I
on.
have not seen, that I have not experienced. Also with me sharing my story, they can see that anything is possible. It's not where you begin the journey. It's not what people tell you you're gonna be. You know how many people told me and actually believed I would not be anything because I had a baby at 13. I turned 14 the next day. You know, how many people didn't believe that I could recover from addiction?
Mm-hmm.
And here I am, and even with my profession as a licensed prescriber, I am able to write prescriptions for any medications, a lot of control medications. So even have that responsibility as a recovered addict and being where I am. I did not even coming through recovery and being on drugs, we lose a lot of our brain cells,
Yes.
We really fry brains on drugs. So even to be where I am and making the decisions, able to assess individuals, evaluate them, and provide care and making the best decision possible in a clinical setting for their mental wellness,
Yes.
as well as their medical wellness. As a primary care provider, it has been awesome over here. So I am the walking provider that if you come in my office and I'm telling you you need to take your medication for hypertension, I'm not telling you something because it's coming from a book. It's coming from a place of I've seen family members, and I take care of family members with hypertension. If I'm supporting and promoting therapy, that's because it has worked for myself. I still attend therapy. The doctor talks to a doctor.
Come on.
I have a standing appointment every other Thursday between the hours of 1 to 2.
Yes. And I was going to ask you that too, and you were reading my mind as it pertains to how do you deal with what you're going through while trying to assist others. We have to take a quick break. Truth Nation, again, we have my good sis, Dr. Jemina Liverman, joining us live from Virginia. Please do not touch that dial. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
At Versity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving, you're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct, and we are joined by my good sis, Dr. Liverman, who is joining us virtually from Virginia. We are talking about mental health. And for those who are just joining us, please excuse me. My voice may be a little off today. I am under the weather, but I am here. And again, today we are talking about mental health. So before we went to break, Dr. Liverman, you were given a testament to she was given a testament to her story as it pertains to her becoming a doctor, right? She had her first child at 13 years old. She had her second child, I believe, at 17 years old. She became addicted at the age of 18 and became clean at the age of 21. She's went through so many different things, and one of the reasons why I entrust my own personal mental health in her is because she is one of the few clinicians who have actually lived through a lot of what other people are going through. She does not take the one rule from one book applies to all method, and this in fact makes her extremely unique. And we were talking a little bit about imposter syndrome as it pertains to who are you when nobody needs you, right? This is a human show, first and foremost. Everything we talk about, it for me directly is not going to come from a degree or anything like that, which is why I bring people like Dr. Jemina in. But because I have experience, and she does have experience plus a degree, we can offer advice and stories that can hopefully impact you all, right? So whether you are someone who is a stay-at-home mom, whether you are a celebrity, a nurse, or a retired veteran, everyone has battled with the fact of determining who we are when nobody else needs us, because we play so many roles, because we are mothers and fathers and teachers and doctors and nurses and supporters and children and so on and so on. We don't sometimes understand what it feels like when we don't have to pour ourselves into other people. And what that means, what I mean by that is, have you ever, so for example, to the empty nesters, right? How did you feel when all of your children moved out of the home and you retired, right? How do you feel for the single parents? How do you feel when your children leaves for the weekend to go with their mother or their father, right? When you have them, it's like, hey, I have all of this stuff to do. And when you don't have them, you have nothing to do. But you find yourself, when you don't have work, when you don't have the children in the house, when you don't have anything to do, you find it very difficult just to sit with yourself, because every day of our lives, we are always wearing so many titles, and not just for ourselves, but for other people. And sometimes that becomes mentally draining, because when you're wrapped up in these titles, when you're wrapped up in who it is that you need to be, it becomes difficult to be yourself. It becomes difficult to say, hey, you know what? Today, I'm not wearing the hat of, now one hat we can't get rid of is a mother. However, I've been setting boundaries with my children, especially my two oldest ones. My baby girl, she don't bother me, but them two oldest ones, I've been setting boundaries. But we all know that parenting doesn't necessarily come with you being able to say, I don't want to be, or I can't be a mother or a father today. But when you wear so many different hats, right? Like, just picture it. Every hat that you wear, imagine if it was a physical hat, right? Almost like the song Bad Lady by Erykah Badu. You're constantly putting one hat on top of another, one hat on top of another. And by the time you look and view yourself in the mirror, you have all of these hats. And each hat is a different color. Each hat comes from a different manufacturer. Each hat, it has different quality, different material, right? Which means you can't wash it the same. You can't set it in your closet the same. They're all different. You have to cater to them differently. And when we begin to take these hats off one by one, it changes our appearance internally and externally. When we begin to take these hats off, then we have to question ourselves, who are you? Who am I? when no one needs me. Especially if you are someone who is in education, if you are someone who is in law, if you are someone who is just human service, period, community activism, advocates, all of the above, right? Every day we are so used to catering to other people, so much to the point that by the time we take all of these hats off, we no longer know who it is that we are looking in the mirror to. We don't recognize ourselves because we have built our entire lives on assisting other people. And this is where you begin to figure out that you have some mental issues, not in a sense of where medication is needed. Sometimes that is a possibility. However, these are undiagnosed issues that we begin to deal with as a people, right? And it becomes extremely overwhelming. And a lot of the times, to my next point, the addiction that nobody talks about is being needed. We're addicted. Some of us are addicted to drugs, to alcohol, to some people are addicted to sex. Some people are addicted to food. Some people are addicted to trauma. Some people are addicted to so many different things, but no one ever talks about what it means to be addicted to being needed, right? The fact that you are constantly trying to feel included in a part of something. I need someone to need me in order for me to need me. I'm going to say that again. I need someone to need me in order for me to need me. That should not be the case. That's similar to saying that you can't make yourself happy because you allow other people and other things to make you happy. Who are you when these different hats are taken off? Who are you when these different identities are removed for the day or for that hour, right? Who are you? Whoever you are is the reason why people in these arenas or people that you're related to that you have to care for and wear these hats for love you. This is, again, some people deal with imposter syndrome. Some people deal with not knowing. It's like going to acting school. Some of us take up acting. I hear actors say often that they have difficulties with becoming themselves after they've taken on certain roles because they have tapped into something that they've never tapped into that forced them to become someone in that moment that they never were, right? And we've become so accustomed to it, to code switching, to hat switching, to saying, hey, today, well, not even today, at this hour, right? I have to be a radio personality. But when I'm off the air and out of work, I'm a mother, I'm a child, I'm a sibling, right? I'm an advocate in my community. Those are two different careers. Those are because being a parent is a job. Let's make it clear. Those are two different arenas. Those are two different hats. And sometimes what happens is when we get to switching hats so many different times, we begin to have issues. We begin to feel lonely, not set apart, but lonely, right? The addiction of being needed is at an all-time high. That's why you see so many people who are social media clickbaiting or constantly uploading content every 5 seconds because they feel the need to be needed. They feel that without that they are not needed. And I'm here to tell you that that's not the case, right? Whenever you are in a situation to where you are completely alone and by yourself and there's nothing for you to do. I'm guilty of it. I just went through it this weekend. I was sick. I'm still sick. It took for me to be sick to sit my tail down somewhere. And then even then, every day I'm used to people needing me. Every single day. I'm used to somebody needing me, somebody calling me for something. If you are the matriarch or patriarch of your family, you know exactly what I mean. Or in the community or at your job, every day somebody is going to call you for something. How many times do your children call your name a day? And it be for stuff that they can do themselves. But because you are the mother or the father, they're going to call you. How many times have your job called you and asked you to come in to work a shift that you was not prepared to work, right? Every day, something or someone needs you. And when we get in that moment where it's like, you know what? My phone ain't ringing. Something got to be wrong. Ain't nobody asking me for nothing. Something has to be wrong. I don't know what to do with myself because every day somebody needs something. or every day someone needs something from me. And again, I have mastered being able to wear multiple hats at one time. I have mastered being able to play multiple roles and have different titles and pivot from one arena to the next, right? But it wasn't until the moment when I sat in myself and took a day, when I realized that the person I am has been the person who has been given everything to everyone else. So if I stopped doing my job today, if I no longer was a radio personality, if I no longer decided to be an educator, if I no longer decided to be a community advocate, if I no longer decided to be a mentor, if I no longer decided to be an artist, if I no longer decided to be whoever it is that jazz is, who am I? What do I have to go off of? Now we talking about you have no choice but to deal with your character, right? You have no choice but to deal with who you are internally. And that matters. All of those things matter. So again, we are joined today with my good sister, Dr. Jemina Liverman, who is based out of Virginia. I met Dr. Liverman while working for the Allen Iverson Classic a few years back. And the first time that I met her, we went to Harpoon Larry's. And if you from Virginia, if you know, you know. We went to Harpoon Larry's. And what made it different was she was so inviting, right? She was so inviting and so authentic. And we were working on a community event. And I said, you know what? This is somebody I want to be around for a lifetime. We often talk about reasons, seasons, and lifetimes. And I decided in that moment, and I'm glad I did, she's one of the people who you can confide in. Again, one of the people who understand what we go through as a human race overall, based off of not just what she has learned in school, but also from her personal experiences. So, sis, welcome back. Thank you so much again for taking time out to join us today. So I was briefly talking to the listeners about who are we when no one else needs us, when it's time to look ourselves in the mirror and take off each hat that we wear throughout the day. How do we sit with ourselves? I know earlier you mentioned imposter syndrome. Can you walk us through not only just your experience, but what that is like from a mental health stance?
Well, from a mental health stance, imposter syndrome is the feeling that your success, right? You're successful um, due to luck, timing, or other people is not your own ability. So imposter syndrome is like a individual who really don't believe in themselves. They just thinking like, okay, why are these great things happening for me? It can't be for me. I'm not worthy enough, or, maybe they're going to find out that I'm really not smart as I appear to be. And I can really attest to this because even for an individual like myself, as successful, as I am, and I did mention earlier that I had my first baby at 13. And so although I hit that roadblock at the age of 13, one thing about me, intelligent wise, I had always been on that honor roll starting in kindergarten. And so when we think of a person that's very intelligent, right, who holds those accolades, we often think of somebody who studies a lot, they're like a nerd, a geek, they read a lot of books. And my God, that was never me. I was like not a book one. And so it was hard for me to even accept my own intelligence. I, I, I can honestly say a lot of times I would play myself down or,
Yes.
Just not even let out I knew as much as I knew, because where I lived and where I came from, it was frowned upon to be smart, right?
Yes.
I also could not believe that I hold this knowledge. I don't read a lot of books. I'm not picking up books. You don't see me constantly in the library, but I finally had to accept it. I learned different. I've always been a person that I can hear something once, I can read it, and I maintain it. But it took
Absolutely.
years for me to accept.
Yeah, and I struggle with that, and we've had conversations about that too. Struggling with, downplaying yourself because you don't want to be the smartest person in the room, or you don't want people to be offended based off of a God-given talent or just God-given knowledge in general. Another thing that I wanted to discuss, and I'm excited about this next topic, which is the addiction of being needed. And I was briefly before break talking about people who have a difficult time when they set themselves aside from assisting and wearing all of these hats. They no longer know who they are because they have centered their life around playing roles for everybody else. We have to take a quick break. When we come back, we will finish this conversation with Dr. Liverman. Do not touch that dial. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy.
Just hold tight.
Post 9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jackamick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackamick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
101.7 The Truth. Is your girl, Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct, and I am joined by my good sister, Dr. Liverman, who is joining us virtually from Virginia. And today we are talking about mental health, but in a different stance. As you know, sis, I am an open book, and I am someone who is transparent, and so are you. And this is the truth. So this next phase that we go into, the next segment, I want to speak about something personal, because I've battled with this and I've shared this with you as well. And that is the addiction nobody talks about, which is being needed. I found myself going through something mentally because I felt like, hey, I'm always giving to people. I never, it's never reciprocated. I'm never giving back what I give to people. Who am I outside of what I have to offer to other people, right? I know who I am, right? I know my calling and my purpose, but mentally I was struggling with the fact that, hey, if I decide to hang this hat up, this hat and that hat, who will I be? What are some of the things that you have worked through to assist you with situations like that?
So the first thing that I worked through was because I've experienced the same thing. Sometimes when we are operating from a place of trauma or low self esteem,
Mm-hmm.
in which our gift is, okay, let me take care of everybody else. Let me do for everybody else because that allows me to run or hide or even face who I really am or even deal with what's going on internally with myself because I busy myself in being productive for everybody else. So I don't and if I'm so busy taking care of everybody else and being everything to everyone else and not to myself, then I don't have to focus on me. I
Yes.
don't have to fix what's broken potentially inside of me.
Yes.
And so what I end up doing for me, because you do become overwhelmed, you become lonely when it gets quiet, because after you fixed everything for everyone and no one no longer needs you or all the issues have been resolved, then you have nothing to do. And
Yeah.
you're stuck looking at that man or that woman in the mirror and having to deal with what more do I have to offer now that I have put everyone's fires, now that I've taken care of everyone's emergencies. Now I feel useless.
Yes.
So maybe what I've been hearing is true that I'm nothing. I'm not worthy. I'm not smart. I'm not pretty. I'm not beautiful. I'm not rich. I'm not valued.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
And
was
you,
able to resolve mine through therapy, and actually touch on and take care of those childhood issues that I didn't even realize that I had,
yeah.
you know? Um, and that was huge because we all want to feel needed. We want
Yes.
to feel valued and really helping others and taking care of people and being a problem solver. It makes you feel good. It
Mm-hmm.
gives us purpose. And everyone wants to have purpose. Everyone wants to feel value and be of value to someone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what ends up happening when you go through these stages, and this is from personal experience, right? You end up crashing mentally and you don't sit in solitude, but you isolate yourself from everything and everybody because you're trying. I just did it. Right. I just did it. You like, and I'm being transparent because again, this is us having, real conversations, right? I go through these phases of exactly what she just explained, and then I isolate myself. And again, we talked about a couple of weeks ago the difference between solitude and isolation. Isolation is dangerous. Solitude is something different. I didn't sit in solitude. I sat in isolation. And then what happened is I began to replay certain things over and over because we all think that we have everything figured out. And once I was able to sit with myself and determine like, hey, some of these hats you're wearing is not actually the hats you need to be wearing, right? Sometimes we just walking around hoarding. We're picking up hats that don't belong to us, and then we expect for everybody to understand, and they don't. So I found myself sitting in silence, and one of the things that I noticed, it was super, super uncomfortable for me because I wasn't used to it. So my next question as it pertains to what we're talking about, why do you believe that us as human beings are so uncomfortable within sitting in silence when it comes to dealing with ourselves?
Because silence make you face yourself. When everything around you is quiet, then your thoughts that are in your head, they get louder and louder. Feelings get louder and louder. Things that you buried or thought you could bury and just keep saying it, they get louder and louder. And so one of the things that can be helpful is to not look at silence as the enemy, but to finally hear what your mind is trying to tell you.
Mm. Yes. Yes. We have to.
And another thing, when it's silent, silence removes distractions. Because when it's quiet, you're not distracted.
Mm-hmm.
And we're able to hear things that we've been avoiding.
Absolutely.
My own personal journey, and I believe I mentioned it to you when I had to go through my grieving process. I was grieving the ending of a relationship. A lot of times I laid in my place in silence. And that silence was the best thing for me, because during that silence, I was actually able to hear God.
Yes.
Because I'd been hearing everybody else and taking care of everyone for so long that I really wasn't able to hear what I needed to hear from me to get me through. And a lot of nights, it was just me, him, the silence, the dark, no TV, no nothing.
Yeah. And a lot of times,
and clarity was clear.
We become addicted to, and I'm guilty of this, we become addicted to putting all of our trust and decision making into other people, meaning we constantly avoid the silence and ask, hey, what do you think it is? Or this happened, what should I do? Because we're trying to avoid from sitting with the reality and the truth. And what I've learned is that no matter how many times you ask, no matter how many times you have certain conversations, the only answer is to sit in silence, because that answer has to come from the Creator. At the end of the day, it's nothing no one can do or say to change the situation, and they can offer certain advice. But again, the important part is being able to sit in silence so that you can identify where this is coming from first and foremost. Because we all know when you have certain conversations with certain people, they're biased. So their determination may linger depending on what their experience is or what your experience is. But the importance of it all is to be able to sit back and just, hear from the higher power what it is that you need to do. We are talking to Dr. Liverman. We are talking about mental health. When we come back, I want to touch on, why do we as a people keep choosing familiar pain over unfamiliar peace? Let's talk about it. Do not touch that dial. It's your girl Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress,
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative,
and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
One on 1.7 The Truth. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct, and we are joined by my good sis, Dr. Liverman, who is joining us live from Virginia. We've been having an amazing conversation around mental health. Some of the things for those who are just joining us that we spoke about was as it pertains to wearing many hats, as well as being addicted to someone needing you. And one of the things that I do want to discuss, not just for myself personally, but for anyone who may be listening and going through something similar. Meaning us as a people, why are we so accustomed to choosing familiar pain over unfamiliar peace? And this is heavy. This is loaded. I am guilty of it, right? It's almost like picking your poison. Like, if I'm going to put up with some BS, at least I know what this BS over here is offering. But at the end of the day, I shouldn't be putting up with it at all. And a lot of times we resort going back to that familiar pain because we don't know what that unfamiliar piece, or where rather that unfamiliar piece will take us. Can we touch on that a little bit, sis?
Because familiar feels safe, even when it hurts. Because, like you said, you rather deal with what you know. So, because you already know it, that means that it's predictable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, predictability is comfortable. Because I rather know than to not to know.
Yes.
And predictability creates a sense of safety. And that goes a lot along the line with people who deal with a lot of anxiety or control issues. For instance, if I know that a certain family member is always gonna be just a lot for us to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that, when I travel with this family member, that they are reliable. Okay, I'd rather just go ahead on and deal with their crap and know they're reliable than to ask someone else to go along with me whom I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be safe with that person.
Right. It's being unfamiliar. It's being familiar with that certain toxic behavior.
And also, change introduces uncertainty, and then uncertainty activates certain areas of the brain, and we feeling threatened, especially in certain areas in the brain, that opens up our fight or flight senses, and we don't like feeling that. Yeah, we don't like having our nervous system disrupted.
Yeah. Let's touch on the fight or flight, because we all know I used to be a flight risk. What that means is as soon as I start to feel, baby, I'm out of there. Nope, won't get me. right? Relationships, all of that. If I start to feel I'm leaving because I'm scared of that you're going to hurt me or attachment. But let's tap into the mental part of their fight or flight as it pertains to the familiar pain and unfamiliar peace.
And I want to touch on that because healing, right? Because we've been discussing, and I've been seeing it a lot in like I want to say social media trends. People are talking about, having their peace and healing. But one of the things is healing often requires us to become comfortable with uncertainty before experiencing lasting peace. So you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable first. That's the first part of it.
Yes. Yes. Yep. You do. You have to. I've sat in being uncomfortable. I've been hiding from sis, right? I'm just being honest. I've been hiding, not in the sense of I feel away or nothing like that, but it's just more so when you have accountability partners and when you go through something mentally, not pertaining to anything other than just restoration, restoring yourself and reflecting, right? Because oftentimes we don't reflect. But you have people who will point these things out, right? And they say, hey, you're doing it again. You need someone to say, hey, this is what you're doing, because you aren't familiar with being uncomfortable and being in these circumstances. You can't technically view yourself outside of your body. So I am here to tell you that this is what you're doing. And I was one of those people whenever things get difficult in a sense of my mental health or my emotional health, I'm gone, right? I'm not going to face it head on, primarily because in my mind, I feel like I've given it my all. And if that wasn't good enough for you, then there is no back and forth about it. This is just what it is, right? And you're saying that, hey, at the end of the day, that may be true, but you still have to face it. You still got to deal with it. It's just a matter if you want to deal with it now or later. But either way, you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah. In the words of my grandmother, you got to pay the piper.
Yes.
It's just a matter of time.
And
if you don't face it and you don't deal with it, then you never know what you're really made of.
Yeah. Cool. Come on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You don't. If you don't walk through that fire, how will you know how good you are or great you are?
Yeah.
You don't know. You have to. And have you ever been in a situation where you became addicted to the familiar pain?
Yeah, because you're numb. And because you do become addicted to what's familiar, it stunts your growth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you wonder why you're not on certain levels in life, or you may be wondering why you constantly have migraine headaches, or why I always have stomach issues, because all of these things that we're holding in internally, at some point it's going to externalize. Like they say, pressure busts pipe.
Yes.
And it comes out. And sometimes we don't even know how it's going to come off.
Yes.
Someone may speak to you and say hello, and because you have reached that breaking point, you would take that hello as in, oh, they said hello to me aggressively, and just explode.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're sitting there hurt and wondering why, like, why did I go off like that? All they said was hello. Like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
What has happened is all of that stuff that you have internalized, you have taken because you're scared to move forward or not to put up with toxicity or just that discomfort of growing.
Yes.
It's coming out now.
Yes. Yep. It's coming out in ways that your loved ones see. It's coming out in ways that you least expect. And then what begins to happen is you start to develop or reignite triggers, and then you expect for other people to tiptoe around those triggers. And again, we talk about self-accountability often on here. And I am a person who holds myself accountable. But sometimes, to your point, when you don't deal with these things again, you are forced in a position where you force others the control thing, because you want to have control over everything around you. You force others to tiptoe around your triggers, even if they don't know what those triggers are. How dangerous is it to live in a mental state of trauma?
It's very dangerous to live in constant trauma, in a trauma sense, because it makes it difficult for you to establish, maintain, and build relationships with others, because there's that paranoid sense of being. Not only that, also when you just constantly live there, there's definitely no growth. And then you become addicted to either being a victim, right? Because you're everyone's go-to, everyone's punching bag, everyone's everything. Or you start to attract people who always are in need.
Come on, projects. That's what we call them.
Then you are their fixer. So you don't know anything. So you mean to tell me, and I use this example with people, you mean to tell me you never have a good day? You don't know anyone who's successful. You don't know anyone who's doing well. All you know is people who are constantly drama.
Yes.
You don't know anyone who doesn't come with drama.
Yes.
You don't have a day at all where you're not on level 10.
Yep.
And those are the people that have a hard time relaxing. Because they're sitting and they're waiting. They're waiting for something to happen so they can jump in and solve it.
Yes.
They can't relax. They can't sleep.
That's so heavy.
And then they end up being a loner, because people who are healed, who are in a place of peace, they definitely don't want that energy around them.
Yeah. Yep. And that was one of the things that I face is like, and this may be more, it's mental, but it's communication too. Is like when things happen that goes against my peace, then I don't provide an explanation. I don't do anything. I just, completely step back from everything to its entirety until I can analyze the situation and determine who is who and what is what. And I understand that that's not a healthy method. And I know a lot of people that use methods like that. But this is something that I need to work on, right? This is something that I'm trying to get better at, because again, to your point earlier, we don't know what we're made of unless we, walk through it. So when we come back from break, I just want to tap in a little bit more on the triggers, on learning how to properly handle these things. Once you are in that moment of being triggered, do not touch that dial. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler. We got to go to break. 101.7 The Truth.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. Improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to healthcare and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. Get ready. 101.7 The Truth Family Fest is back. Join us Saturday, August 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Riverside University High School for a free back-to-school resource, live entertainment, family activities, and community fun. Vendors and sponsors can reserve a spot by visiting truthfamilyfest.com or simply emailing Sierra, that's CIERRA.Brown at MilwaukeeBlackMedia.com. Proudly sponsored by Educators Credit Union, American Family Insurance, Milwaukee Public Schools, Artists Working in Education, and Incision. We want to see y'all there. Don't meet us there, beat us there. It's going to be an amazing event. Shout out to the chat. My D is live and direct. He says, I am at peace with being single and alone. Listen, Madi, I don't know about being at peace with being single and alone, but I don't knock you for it. I understand why you would say that. He also said that it's sad because once you put that wall up, it will take a boom crane to knock it down. And again, that goes back to trauma, because that is me. I am that person, because I am a person who has dealt with being in situations where I was not protected as a child. It's easy for me to throw walls up whenever I am in a situation that I don't feel safe, and not necessarily physically, but just spiritually, emotionally, or mentally. Sometimes we automatically throw those walls up. We are joined by my good sis, Dr. Liverman from Virginia. Again, thank you so much for taking time out to join us today. We have touched on some major topics. And for those who are just joining, I do encourage you all to replay this once it uploads fully and the interview is done, the show is done. Go back and press play on this, because she has dropped some gems. You can watch the entire interview on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, 101.7 The Truth. Dr. J, Dr. Liverman, I have a couple of questions. I know you have to get out of here that I want to ask you. What do you feel like is the biggest myth about mental health?
One of the biggest myths about mental health is that people think that because you may have mental health issues that means you're weak, you know. And mental health is just like, to me, having a medical condition. Just because someone has high blood pressure, diabetes, or thyroid disorder, that doesn't mean that they're sick or that they're dying. So mental health, people with mental health conditions, that doesn't mean that you're weak, because you have to go and talk with someone to talk things through. That's not a weak sign. Or because you may have a chemical imbalance and that requires you to take medications, it means that you're weak or something is wrong with you. No.
Absolutely.
And also the myth on, okay, well, she looked fine or he looked fine. That means they got it all together. Just because there's a such things as functional depression, functional anxiety, functional trauma. The same way we have functional addicts, people who get high, get drunk, who have an addiction. Every day they're using, but every day they go to work and they're able to function. Not everyone looks like they're homeless or just standing on the corner, waiting on their next fix.
That's right. That's right.
So mental health is the same way. Many people walk around with a smile on their face. But, go to work, they're functional, do for others, and they suffer in silence with anxiety or depression or trauma or burnout.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I am guilty of being a functional depressant and I think it's because I'm a creator, but like when you have racing thoughts and you have so many hats, again, to the point earlier, naturally the world can put this extra weight on you on top of not dealing with whatever it is that you should have dealt with. It makes you an easy target for circumstances like that. I want to ask you a question, right? Prior to me asking this, though, I just want to highlight your journey. I've watched you in a short period of time go through what you went through with your relationship and other personal things. I watched people, try to sabotage what you had going on, and you took one facility and God ended up blessing you with an amazing facility with more spaces and more rooms. And I had the pleasure of visiting it on your opening day last year. Can you touch on the services that you offered, how you got there, and where you currently are in your journey?
So the services that I offer in Virginia, and I'm now licensed in Connecticut as well. So I do telehealth for Connecticut. Services I offer are medication management, psychotherapy, as well as resources for just psychotherapy for individuals with serious mental illness. And what we consider serious mental illness are like schizophrenic, schizoaffective disorder, psychosis. I also manage individuals with depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, ADHD, just everything. Over in the mental health realm. And where I am in my practice is myself, and I have 3 other providers in the practice with me. We do in-person visits. We come and we provide services at group homes, assisted living facilities. I still am part of the PEACE curriculum, which is developed and headed by Mr. Burley Word. He is a incarcerated individual at Lawrenceville Prison. So I'm still part of that curriculum where I go into the prison and I discuss pre, peri, and post trauma and give back there. We see children in this practice as well, starting at age 7 and up for medication management. We go all the way up to, I think one of the oldest patient I have may be like 93.
Yes, and she does so
that
much
I provide
more.
treatment for. Yeah.
Like there's
I
the
have a
community
Spravato
events.
treatment center too. So we do Spravato here as well.
Yes. They're like, outside of everything that you just mentioned, she's also active in her community. She's also a person she's very, very, what do you call it? Sociable, right? You can stop her on the street and have a conversation with her and she's going to give you the real end. I just wanted to give you your flowers, primarily because you deserve it. And oftentimes we deal with things that other people don't know about. But what I do want to say for people who are in positions like Dr. Jemina and who have taken the time, sacrificed their time and things that they wanted to do, right? Earlier you mentioned that you wanted to do law, but you then later on found out that your calling was actually what you're doing now. And what that consisted of was you sacrificing your own personal needs and taking your testimony, trials, and tribulations and adding it to a degree so that you can help your people. And oftentimes that's not a sacrifice that everyone is willing to take. And because you are a mother, you know, and amongst other things, a sibling, a child, you're still willing to put what you go through on the back burner to make sure that everyone else that you service gets through their day. So again, to you, to all of our clinicians in positions like this, we truly, truly, truly are grateful and honor you. I love the fact that you never give up. I love the fact that you're transparent. I love the fact that I don't love that you've been through what you've been through, but at the same time, I do, because you wouldn't be who you are had you not gone through those things. And we got to get you licensed in Wisconsin. We got to get you licensed here because there's so many people, especially young people, that I would love to refer to you. And y'all going to be seeing a lot more of Dr. Jemina because I'm going to make sure of it. She's done a lot for me, right, within the past few years. And she will continue to be someone that I lean on no matter how far away we are, no matter how often we talk. But I do know the dire need that our people have here in the city of Milwaukee. And I would love nothing more than to bring you here so that we can begin to get you, you know, in these spaces as well. So again, thank you so much. Before we go,
for having me.
Of course, before we go, do you have any advice, any shout outs that you want to provide to our listeners?
Yes. And so the biggest advice that I want to leave people with is make sure mental health is just not about you having a diagnosis. You know, it's about how we feel, how we think, how we cope with stress, how we build relationships with people, and how we function every single day. So take care of your mental health and make that a normal practice in your life. You know, we take care of our physical stuff. As soon as you start having a pain, you run somewhere and check on it. So soon as you're not feeling well, you're feeling low, mental health, you need to go somewhere and take care of that as well. Call a provider, you know, and no longer are we in that age that a lot of us grew up in. What happens in this house stays in this house because that's what created generation after generation of dysfunctional coping skills and dysfunctional people.
Yes.
We're not there anymore.
Yes.
You have to open your mouth. So no longer what happens in this house stays in this house.
That's right.
It has to come out because it takes a village.
That's right. That's right.
And I want to shout out my biggest supporters ever, which are my children, because they have spent a lot of their life sharing me with work, sharing me with school, sharing me with my addiction, sharing me with me learning myself, because I've been in the journey of motherhood for over 40 years. My oldest child is 40 years old. And so I've been a mom for just as long as I was a child. So I had to grow with them. So I appreciate my children and I thank them for not being selfish and really loving me and accepting me for me, all of me. Because I would not be the woman I am today without those six, without my six piece.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And where can people find you, and can you plug your facility as well, and what type of insurance, all of that you accept?
All right. So the name of my practice is Saving and Changing Lives. And the and is the answer sign and not the word and. We also have a website that's www.savechangelives.org. I accept all insurances and self-pay. So we take Medicaid, Medicare, commercial insurance, and we take cash. We also see people on a sliding scale basis. So even uninsured people can get care.
Yes.
And the basis of the name Saving and Changing Lives is everyone that I encounter, either I saved your life back when I was working on the floor as a nurse, doing life save, or I've changed your life. Maybe a word that I've given you, it could have been a smile, it could have been $1 or something. So everyone that I encounter, I try to make an impression. So either I save your life or I change your life. So it's only right that I named my practice Saving and Changing Lives, because that's what I do
Yes.
for a living.
Thank you so much. So my call to action with that being said to the people out there is make sure that you are contributing to either saving or changing some person's life, whether it's through social media, whether it's through a physical interaction, but just be that beacon of light. You never know what stories can change or how that can shape other people's future. Again, Dr. Jemina, thank you so much for joining us, sis. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. Make sure y'all tap into her Instagram, Dr. JAI_live. And we have to go to break again. Thank you so much for joining us. Do not touch that dial, Truth Nation. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative,
and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Yeah, listen here. We ain't about to be playing them type of games. Cause I already know what it is.
Those ain't my shoes under the bed. Oh, whoa. Yeah, pulled up quick, didn't text this time. Thought I was surprised you had you on my mind. Lights real low, something's feeling off. Too quiet in here, where you at? Don't hide. Keys hit the table, I'm calling your name. No reply, now I'm feeling the way. Walk to the room, heart switching pace. Soon as I look down, yeah, everything changed. Trying to play it cool, but I know what it is. Ain't no way I'm mistaken this. Those ain't my shoes under the bed. Those ain't mine. Got me in my head, overthinking again. But I know I ain't blind. Who been laying where I lay? Who been calling you babe? Whoa, those ain't my shoes under the bed. Don't even try to explain. Whoa, yeah, you been moving different lately. Phone on silent, screen face down daily. Sing your side, roll away from me. Now it's making sense, yeah, it's all too crazy. Yeah, got a sin in the air I don't wear, and that side's right there. Yeah, that ain't fair. Pick 'em up, yeah, I know they ain't mine. Now you got me questioning all this time. Tryna play it cool, but I know what it is. Ain't no way I'm mistaken this. Those ain't my shoes under the bed, yeah. Those ain't mine. Got me in my head, overthinking again. But I know I ain't blind. Who been laying where I lay? Who been calling you babe? Those ain't my shoes under the bed. Don't even try to explain. Yeah, was it worth it?
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. Shout out to MJ. Man, listen, that Southern Soul joint, I try to tell you. That Southern Soul joint ain't no joke. He is most definitely coming with it. Today we have had an amazing conversation again. Shout out to my sis Jemina. She just, Dr. Jemina Liverman joined us live from Virginia. We were talking about mental health and who it is that you discover you are when you are not needed, right? A lot of us become addicted to people needing us, and outside of them needing us, sometimes we fall short without knowing who we are. So we'll kind of touch back on that. But again, for those who are joining us, I want to take you back to the top. Earlier today, we were talking about news as it pertains to local news, as it pertains to national news, the storms that happened, the power outage, new developments inside of Nolan Wells' case, as well as a campaign finance complaint that was filed against the governor, former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, who is currently running for the governor's seat. This weekend has been amazing. Again, to those who are joining us, I do apologize. I am under the weather, so if you hear my voice sound a little scratchy, I don't feel the best, but I am here. Don't be going online talking bad about me now. For real, but I just wanted to be transparent. But the storms, man, I've watched the news and I've seen footage as well as pictures as far as the damages that tornado has caused throughout the state of Wisconsin. And I want to send my thoughts and prayers to those who were affected by that, as well as the power outage yesterday, right? I am someone who actually had to go through that. Me and my family, power was out from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. in the evening. 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Amongst 20,000 residents throughout the entire city of Milwaukee. And it was extremely difficult. I mean, if not in ways that you may think. If you know how to survive, obviously, it wasn't a big deal. But nevertheless, when you go without any type of power or necessities for that amount of time, it can weigh on you, especially with the weather that we've been having lately. So for those who were impacted in different ways, I don't mean, hey, my lights was off for this 14 hours, but I'm okay. I mean, the elders who are on oxygen tanks, right? The babies who have to have a nebulizer because they have asthma, right? People who don't have money to purchase food or for food to go to waste, who had to get rid of their food or attempt to cook it all, because we just never know, dealing with circumstances like this, how long it's truly going to take despite of whatever it is that they tell us. Those are the people that I am referring to. It was extremely difficult to sit in the heat while being sick for 14 hours, waiting on We Energies to stop treating me like I was a yamp, like they was a cheating boyfriend. Hey, we're gonna cut it back on at 8:30. Nope, psych, sorry. It's almost like when you have a parent who wasn't in your life and they promise they're gonna come see you. You're like, yeah, they're coming. 1 o'clock roll around. Nope, sorry. Let's push it back to 3. 3 o'clock comes. Nope, sorry again. How about 5:30? Oh, 5:30 isn't gonna work either, right? Until it finally happened. And I'm cracking jokes. It's no slight, because we all know that some things we just can't dictate, right? So it's not necessarily We Energy's fault or anything like that. And they did whatever they needed to do to make sure that they got the power back on for 20,000 people. But it was a lot going on yesterday. Also, new developments inside of the Nolan Wills case. We did touch on that as well earlier in the hour. According to TMZ, there has been additional records and reports that Nolan Wills that he was not indeed on that boat when it was being towed back to shore after experiencing mechanical problems on July 4th. Newly released dispatch audio indicates that the caller told the sea tow that everyone was on board at the time of distress, while later reports and witnesses state that Nolan indeed was not on that boat. Authorities continue to investigate the circumstances surrounding the disappearance and death. They also try to, here we go with the games, trying to slander him already by saying that he was intoxicated, right? However, if you see all of the people that was there, it was a party. You know, I'm sure the other young men were too, but what we're not going to do is blame his death on that. And again, Nolan is my son. He is your son. He is all of our sons. And it's very imperative that we pay close attention to this as this story unfolds, as well as the story with the good brother who was assassinated by Madison Police Department in Madison, Wisconsin, right here in our own backyard. So again, our thoughts and prayers will consistently stay with Nolan Wills and his family, as well as Ruiz family in Madison and all over. And as this story again continues to develop, we will touch bases on it. In other news, in about 30 minutes, there will be a Democratic debate happening at Marquette University. This will include Barnes, Brennan, Crowley, Hong, and Royce. It will be moderated by Jerron Jordan and Matt Smith of WISN 12. The Wisconsin partisan primary is August 11th, and the Democratic nominee will advance to the November general elections, right? So if you guys have been watching the news, I'm sure you have heard that a campaign finance complaint was filed against candidate Mandela Barnes with the Wisconsin Ethics Commission, as well as the Long Run PAC. Now, the Long Run PAC is a political action committee founded by former Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes following his 2022 U.S. Senate campaign. The goal of this action committee was to support working class, young minority, and LGBTQ plus Democratic candidates who break the traditional political mold, right? So the complaint alleges that the campaign and PAC violated Wisconsin campaign finance laws. Among the allegations are that PAC failed to properly register before engaging in political activities and improperly coordinated spending with the campaign. Barnes' campaign has denied the allegations and says it believes it has complied with state law. The Wisconsin Ethics Commission will determine whether any action is warranted, and at this stage, these are just simply allegations. No findings or wrongdoings have been discovered. However, if this is indeed true, Barnes could potentially face some legal consequences. Listen, this was cited from Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. I'm eager to see in this debate tonight if they are going to start nitpicking and touching on these types of things. Now, this in particular, to be exact, is something that should be taken seriously in the event you are someone who understands politics, not only because it is unethical, but because it goes against not goes against, but it pretty much shows that person's character amongst other things. But outside of the typical nitpicking that politicians do, I'm eager to see them touch on public safety, housing, education, healthcare, the economy, and even Brother Winky Blue tapped in earlier and was talking about the tax increase as it pertains to school boards. And something that Evers passed, I want to dig into that a little bit more before I start speaking to that. But tomorrow, most definitely, we will be touching on the debate today. If you are not there, if you are not able to attend physically, you can watch it from your TV at home, or you can attend the Creative Corridor debate watch party held and hosted by my good brother Ray Nitty at his location, which is on Center Street today, 30th and Center at the Creative Corridor. I can't express again how important it is for you to be informed on this topic. A lot of times we are encouraging people to become educated on national politics when the politics here in our own backyard is just as effective, if not more, and it influences us in a negative or positive way, quite frankly, a little bit more than national news, right? It's a direct impact. So again, my stance is not to tell you who to vote for or how to vote. It's simply just to inform you guys on who's running, what each candidate is representing, so that you can then dictate, right? And even if you are a person who don't vote, because that's not everybody's choice, right? You have a choice not to vote. If you are not a person who believes in the system to vote, I'm not going to pressure you into saying you need to, but what I will say is that whether you vote or not, you need to understand what's at hand. You need to understand so that you can begin to prepare, right? At the end of the day, we don't have necessarily a say-so sometimes when it comes to certain things. We don't have control over certain things. However, we do have control over our own lives. We do have control over how we prepare for whatever it is to come. And I simply would ask that you do that. We have to go to break. We are in the last 30 minutes of today's conversation. When we come back, we will touch on the call to action and some conversations, some things that we talked about in the conversation with Dr. Liverman. Again, this is Jazz Tyler. Thank you so much for tapping in. 101.7 The Truth.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling. The limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. Truth Nation, it's your chance to win. We are giving away a pair of tickets to Black Arts Fest MKE, happening Saturday, August 1st at Summerfest grounds in Milwaukee. Don't miss an unforgettable day of music, culture, art, food, and community featuring artists the Lattimore Brothers and Dave Hollister live on stage. Listen every day for your cue to call and score your pair of tickets. Black Arts Fest MKE, Saturday, August 1st at the Summerfest grounds. Brought to you by the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk. Listen, Truth Nation, you guys have been amazing today. For those who are just joining again, I apologize. I am under the weather, which is why my voice sounds the way that it does. But hey, I'm here. I showed up. It's been a long weekend between tornadoes and over 20,000 citizens in the city of Milwaukee affected by the power outage. I am one of them. It has been a rough 3 to 4 days again, but we are pushing through. Earlier before break, we were talking about the governor's debate, the governor's race debate that is happening today from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Marquette University with the current candidates, Mandela Barnes, Joel Brennan, Crowley, Hong, and Royce. This is moderated by Jerron Jordan and Matt Smith of WISN 12. Also, our good brother, my coworker, Ray Nitty, will be hosting a debate watch party at the Creative Corridor tonight also. We also touched on the new developments as it pertains to the Nola Wells case, and we will continue to cover that as that story unfolds. But as we transition into our evening, I know that it's late. I know that we all have to do our due diligence inside of our homes, but I just wanted to reiterate some of the things that I myself and Dr. Jemina Liverman were speaking to as it pertains to mental health. And the topic we were talking about was, who are you when no one needs you, right? Have we become addicted to being needed? And what mental space does this put us in when we constantly feel the need to want to be there or need to be there for other people? I was saying when I first came on today that one of my new sayings is, your emergency is not my emergency. And it's not because I don't want to help, but it's because I don't have the mental capacity to help every single situation, right? That comes with a part of the feeling of who am I when I am not needed, right? If someone constantly needs you, if you're constantly being put in multiple directions, by the time you get by yourself, it's hard to dictate exactly who you are. The analogy that I used earlier on in the show is the multiple hats. So picture yourself looking in the mirror and you have all of these different hats on, right? Each hat is made of a different material. You have to wash it different. You have to set it down different. You have to treat it differently. And every day we put these hats on and then we begin to take these hats off. And sometimes what happens is by the time you look up without all of these hats, you no longer recognize yourself because it has become a part of your identity. So what ends up happening is you have identity crisis, not in the sense of you're faking, not in the sense of you don't necessarily know who you are as it pertains to your calling and purpose, but simply because every day we are forced to be something other than just one person. We are forced to be a mother. We are forced to be a father, a teacher, an educator, a doctor, a nurse, a community advocate, so on and so on. And you wear all of these different hats and then you take on each problem that comes with these hats. And what ends up happening is by the time you retire and your children leave, you look up, you don't know who you are, you don't know what to do with yourself. By the time your children leave on a weekend, during the week, you got all of these things going on, can't, sit down or get to it because you have your children. But by the time they go to the babysitters or with the other parent, you don't know what to do with yourself, right? And then we end up sitting back reflecting and constantly staying in our mind. And what that does is causes triggers, right? It causes us we're forced to sit with ourselves to deal with those insecurities. Because if you are a person who is high functioning, in a sense where you are solely dependent on other people, are solely dependent on you, you don't know what it feels like. You don't know what to expect when someone don't need you, right? Now you're questioning your worth, which is what Dr. Jemina touched on earlier. You're questioning your worth. You're questioning all of the doubts, all of the fear that resides inside of you because you have not taken the time to sit within yourself. So my call to action with you all is simply this, right? And I wouldn't tell you to do anything that I haven't done for myself. Make time, right? We talk about relationships and we say people make time for who and what they want. Make time for yourself. The best feeling in the world that I have experienced, one of the best, greatest feelings that I have experienced this year is putting myself first. Everything that I have put into other people or tried to put into other people, whether they accepted it or not, I put into myself. I am going to be the greatest example of what it means when I give my all. Not someone else's legacy, not someone else's brand, not what other people have going on, but me. And if you don't believe me, just watch, right? You have to go through these things, pull yourself aside. Hey, you can run out your resume. I've done this. I've done that. I've done A, B, C, D. For who? Oh, I've worked for this organization. I work for this person. I've done, okay, but how has that benefited you as a person? Who are you without those titles? Who are you without that experience, right? Because oftentimes when these situations happen, what ends up happening is the people you're giving it to feel like they made you, or you feel like you cannot progress without being attached to that title or wearing that hat. Me, I always say I was dope before I got with an organization. I was me before I agreed to anything, right? That part of me I know about, which made it easier for me to pull away and say, you know what? I need to reorganize these hats. I need to prioritize some of the hats I had no business wearing, not because I wasn't good at it, but because I just should have not been wearing it, right? And again, we all are guilty of this, but the best thing I could have done was sit with myself in solitude, sit with myself in silence, which was so uncomfortable because now you don't have anyone clogging your thoughts. Now you don't have, it's a lot of people, I'm guilty of it. You got your go-tos. Hey, what you think about this? This happened, girl, let me tell you this. Do you think this mean this? Do you think this mean that? Da, 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 da. I am guilty of that. I used to do it so much to the point where I had to literally pull back and be like, no, this is not healthy because you are hiding from reality. You are hiding from the voice within. Silence is uncomfortable, but it is necessary, right? We have to sit with ourselves to understand what hats we should be wearing and what hats we shouldn't be wearing instead of trying to combine them all together, right? And then we also talked about depression. We talked about being a functional depressant, someone who may, be used to being depressed, but they still know how to function. They still know how to maneuver. We also talked about why people keep choosing familiar pain over familiar peace. I'm going to say it again. Why do we as a people keep choosing familiar pain over unfamiliar peace? Y'all know it, even in relationships. Oh, I'm content. I'm okay with being with this person because I know what to expect when it comes to their BS. So I'm going to sit in this BS because I understand it, right? Versus not putting up with it and sitting with uncertainty, which is uncomfortable peace. A lot of times we don't know what that feels like because we're never in the space of peace. We're consistently in the space of chaos and confusion. And if you know one thing about the Creator does not operate in chaos and confusion. Sometimes we hurt ourselves by staying in situations that is familiar. That pain is familiar. I know what this pain feels like. Therefore, I'm okay with it because it is normal to me. Versus, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm peaceful, but I have no idea what's going to happen or what's going to come come about, right? It's a control thing. We have to get out of choosing familiar pain over unfamiliar peace. It doesn't matter if it's a marriage, if it's a friendship, if it's a job, whatever it is. At the end of the day, just because it's familiar does not make it right. Just because it's familiar does not mean that it's for you. You have to sit with yourself in silence and be 100 with yourself and ask yourself, do I deserve this? Am I worthy? Right? What is it about me that makes me feel like I have to constantly go back to familiar pain? Because again, I'm guilty of it. I've done it in the past. We all are going to experience some type of pain no matter what. This is life. But it's up to us to try and sometimes we think it's up to us to try and dictate how we want to deal. Oh, I know I'm going to get pain, so I'm going to just choose this pain over there instead of choosing peace, even though it's uncertainty. This has been the hardest thing for me in my life, trying to be okay with uncertainty. Right? I'm not a control freak. I'm an organized freak. I like stuff to be lined up so I can know how to make my next move, right? I like it like that. Even when people think I don't know, I know. But uncertainty scares me. I got to know what I'm getting into. I got to know what I'm around. I got to know, what the layout is. And sometimes uncertainty is uncomfortable. But at this age, with everything I've been through, I'd rather take uncertainty and uncomfortable peace than familiar pain. We got to go to break to pay some bills. When we come back, again, we will go through the run of show. Listen to a couple of jams as well. Listen, it's Tuesday. It's been a long weekend. If your power was out, if you experienced a tornado, trust me, I'm tired. I know you tired. But we're going to get through this. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time, and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative,
and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that. but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Show it with someone outside all night. It's time, we'll party until it hits 5. I might stay out, don't know at all. We stay, we stumble and fall. Might call an Uber or something, or we won't be making it at all. Dandelions are in the field growing. Don't hide your feelings. You show someone. Dandelions are in the field growing. Don't hide your feelings. You show it with someone. Outside all night, it's time, we'll party until it hits 5. I might stay out, don't know at all. We stay, we stumble and fall. Might call an Uber or something, or we won't be making it at all.
She don't wanna leave. She don't wanna let me go. And what we doing in this room right now, we can't let the neighbors see, so turn them lights down low, lights down low. She don't wanna low, lights down low. She don't wanna let me go. And what we doing in this room right now, we can't let the neighbors see, so turn them lights down. She fell in love with that slow motion love cologne, slow motion love cologne, slow motion love cologne. Slow motion, love motion, slow motion, love motion, slow motion, love motion, slow motion. I wanna see you putting on, put something on you so cold. Put something on you so cold. They don't wanna see you putting on, put something on you so cold. Put something on you so cold. Arch your back, girl. Arch your back, girl. Arch your back, girl. Arch your. They don't wanna see you putting on, girl. Arch your back, girl. Arch your back, girl. Arch your back, girl. Putting on that love, 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 girl. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. CMG days cracking. Dropped a few albums, label think that I ain't have it. LA Supermax, I had to sit, this shit was tragic. Suge Knight on the top floor, prison house madness. Running phase was crazy, that's the static. Fast forward pandemic, don't know how I lasted. Quit up on the music, felt like I was past it. Dakota G and Man the Beast, they recognized the talent. Brought me back to balance, now we cooking magic. Now we on the run, that's a stretch, no elastic. And I'm on my real shit, you other niggas plastic. And I stood on every block and I accepted every challenge. Reminiscing in the days, I went through my hitter phase. Don't care what these niggas say, 94 I've been the wave. Yeah, y'all be moving low, y'all been afraid. Standing still, get out of the way. Always be like this, there will be better days. All of the nights I pray, sacrifices I made. Now I could never go back to the old life. Had to manifest, had to get it right. Oh, cause it ain't no mystery, I just came to be.
Hey, this that hustle motivation, niggas didn't expect it. This for
a shorty on the job, the results reflecting. Do the school, do the job, she be really stepping. And I be chilling in my hood, I be well protected. Blame it on my hood, blame it on my block, blame it on my mindset. Niggas can't stop. Maybe I was born for this. Shout out to my pop. I do it to death, if I get rich or not. In the zone, I'm KD when I take my shot. I ain't talking AP, I make these niggas watch. These other rappers ain't me, this a different vibe. I mix the bass and mix the substance and this shit be hot. Take it to the tippy top, I'm making the city pop. Haters asking can we stop when my pockets have 50 knots. Yeah, pull up in the Tesla, diamonds, Millie Rock. I keep it going, dog.
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Again, if you have the time and availability, stop down at Marquette University from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. as they host a debate with the candidates who are currently running for either seat that will be hosted by moderated by WISN 12. Also, you can head over to the Creative Corridor. Shout out to my brother Ray Nitty. Again, for those who have listening, I do apologize. I am under the weather, but I pushed through the best I could. It was important and imperative that I was able to come up here to have these conversations with y'all. And as we go into this evening, again, my call to action is simply this. When it comes to mental health, it comes up in all different shape sizes and in all different forms. One of the takeaways from the conversation that we had with Dr. Liverman is that don't ever think that you are crazy for going to a therapist. Don't ever think that you have to be on medication to have mental issues. And also, we are not living in a time where what happens in this house stays in this house. You understand? That is no longer happening. It is our job to make sure that we obtain the help we need so that we can stop these generational curses, man, for real. Be 100 with yourself. Sit in solitude. Silence is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. And stop being addicted to not only people you needing people or feeling the need to be needed, but stop being addicted to familiar pain over uncertainty and uncomfortable peace. Be sure to tap in tomorrow for the morning show with Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman, followed by Sherwin Hughes, lunch break with Ray Nitty and Shannon, as well as the Grapevine with Manon, and then double back with your girl Jazz Tyler from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm about to go home and drink me a hottie toddy. Truth Nation, yes indeed. Again, have a great evening. Be sure to tap in with us tomorrow. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Madi, all of our subscribers. Have a great evening, Milwaukee. I love you. Stay safe.